Hello, and welcome to Mean Reviews, No Stars Given, the show where my friends and I trash talk other books in the hopes that it will make our books sell better. It's very cold here in Spokane, Washington. As my grandfather used to say, it's colder than a hot day in July. He was a master of understatement. I would say it is cold enough that every hour I have to go break up the ice in the goat's water buckets, which is perhaps not as lyrical, but it is still quite true. Regardless, my guest co host this week is author Madilynn Dale. Welcome, Maddie.
Hey guys! And I have to say, the weather is the complete opposite here. I have the air conditioner on right now. So,
Well, that is a bunch of bullshit, I will say. It's in the 20s here, and it is. I mean, it was like a light got switched. We had a super late, warm, awesome global warming fall, great growing season, and then, like, now we've had two 5-inch snowfalls, and it's freaking freezing all week. But anyway, uh, we should get into the reviews. I just want to say, before we do that, a quick note about the comments. We welcome each and every delightful comment, but we will only be looking at them after we review each book. So a little context in the comment would be really helpful at that point. So, anyway, thank you. You're all just amazing. Hugs and kisses. But our first book to review tonight is The Fae's Amulet, Book One of The Lady of Death by J.F. Posthumous. Uh, Here is the cover. And my spoiler free synopsis for the Fae's Amulet is: half human and half Fae, 300-year-old hot lady necromancer that used to cause a lot of trouble is now a private investigator living a boring, lonely life, like most old maids. She gets a big case and gets her groove back. Maddie, do you have anything to add to that synopsis?
I mean, she does definitely get her groove back in that story. So,
I'm a truth teller. I explain that to my wife constantly. I just tell the truth. Let's get right to the things that we like. I like situation comedies, or sitcoms, as they say in the biz, but only the ones with laugh tracks. And of course, I will tell you why. Here is an example of a sitcom that had a laugh track, a very aggressive laugh track. But the reason I like sitcoms with the laugh tracks is because, like most people, I'm a busy guy. I don't have time to figure out how I'm supposed to feel for every sentence of a book. Books are big. Sitcoms that have a laugh track eliminate all of the emotional detective work. Was a line supposed to be funny? If it was, the laugh track will engage. Did something sad happen? Or adorable? Or scary? Cue the appropriate laugh track noises and music. It makes everything easier. Sadly, this book did not spell out what I was supposed to be feeling each and every second that I was reading the book. Maybe 15% of the time it did. But the other 85% of the time, I had no idea what to feel without taking a few minutes to really think it over. It was exhausting, and it took me over 13 hours to read the book. So, J.F. Posthumous, and really every single author, living or dead, including you and me, need to create a feelings key like this one, which I will bring up here. Uh, Here's my sample feelings key.
ooh.
Um, then you just add the appropriate letter after each sentence. So it would go something like this. And then the poor person slipped on the poop and fell on their butt. L for laugh. But it turned out to be their own poop. A for awe. End scene. I think this will help take everyone's books, including my own, to the next level. I can hardly wait. Currently, though, the Fae's Amulet gets 0 hilarious hijinks out of 12. A stunningly poor showing. So, what about you, Maddie? What do you like?
Well, I like horses. I like riding horses, anything about horses. Like, just in general. I mean, obviously, this is me on a horse. I love and enjoy riding horses. Yeah. So, I'm big horseback rider. They're my favorite animal. I was kind of bummed there weren't any horses in this story, but I mean, it care. I felt the book did pretty good at carrying me along, kind of like riding a horse. So yeah, I like
Interesting.
that. So I give it maybe like a half a hoof out of four.
Nice. Perfect. All right, let's move on to what we don't like. And I don't like old people. I've talked about this before. Old people are gross. This is a picture of an old person.
Which
He's
Ron is
gross.
referencing himself as well sometimes.
Oh yeah. No, I mean any day now I will my face will collapse in on itself. I'm certain. And I will start shrinking. So, because I hate old people, older than me people, maybe to be really specific, this book was very confusing for me because the main character, Catherine, is 300 years old, and that is super old and should be very gross. But she looks like she is young and is very hot. So that really befuddled and distracted me. Uh, Usually, I would have extremely useful advice for the writers of the books we review, like the emotional key from earlier. But here I have no idea what to do to make, the this book better due to its old protagonist. So the phase amulet gets 0 out of 1 confused old men from me.
I guess you could say something I don't like is the ever never ending laundry that happens in life.
That makes sense.
Kind of like our main character's age, she seemed to like never end because she just kept going. Especially her little love interest, who has been around since like the beginning of time. So I mean, how many years is that? And he was like super duper hot, attractive, like sex on a stick.
Well, that
So,
that makes sense because men get more attractive as they get older.
but
I
he didn't
mean,
even look
it's
old.
rough. It's rough
So
for you ladies, but you know.
I guess I could get. I have to give like on the hotness scale. Okay, not on the hotness scale because the guy's really hot in the book.
Yeah.
So, but with the age thing, I think yeah, I'm gonna go with like maybe a half a star because they are all really really old. Big age
Yes.
gap.
I have okay. Well, we'll talk about it a little later. Let's move on to things we can talk about that we liked without spoiling the plot. Maddie, would you care to go first?
I did like that. It pulled me in immediately, and I didn't want to stop reading. So yeah, your turn, Ron.
All right. I like the fact that the title is very straightforward. The phase amulet is indeed about the phase amulet. I think JF really nailed it on that one. So there we go. Now comes the actual awarding of less than a full star to the book. I will go first. I give the phase amulet, book one of The Lady of Death by JF Posthumous, 4/7 of a star for all the confusing reasons I mentioned before. Maddie, what portion of a star do you give it?
I give a half a star for all the things I've mentioned before.
All right.
Yeah.
I gave her I give 4/7 is just a little more than a half of a
Yeah.
star. So she's doing great.
Yeah. Yeah.
But let's check the comments. Oof.
Wow, guys. Okay,
All right.
hello, everybody. Nikki, Anita, Joe, Rebecca, Tyler, my
There
mom,
are oh
Adam.
that's hey. There are a lot of people saying hello. I'm
Wow.
not going to show them all that, but I will complain about this. I have the windows open because it suddenly got so hot. I hate you. I hate
I
you very much
mean,
right now.
that's weather here too.
See,
So,
this is nice.
but
There. Now I
Anita is
don't
like
feel so
you.
bad.
She gets lots of snow. So,
That's a great
ooh.
comment.
And she says, oh, skulls on the cover. So cool. Which the skull is actually really cool. I will admit, it's a dragon.
Well,
So,
and I've found out that the the woman, the Catherine that's on the front, is based on a model because she's got this series has 3 books out and one being worked on, and the author told me that they have to go see the model to get it. And I was like, that is cool. For some reason, I really like uh, the fact that there's a real human. And Nikki says, must be a pen name, right? And I'm like, if not, that is just a ridiculous coincidence. But I will also say, I hardly ever know if anybody's using a pen name. Yeah, I am. But Nikki could be a pen name for all I know. I
That's
don't
true.
know.
That's true. It's true.
I don't just like Saved by the Bell. I have modeled my life
Ooh.
after Saved, but I'm just kidding. In fact, I really didn't watch it. I didn't watch, but I just thought they had the most egregious example of a laugh track that I could think of.
And this
So,
Rebecca Jonesy taught me something tonight.
what's that?
This. Everyone knows that laugh track people are dead. They were recorded in the 20s, right? I did not know that. But I also had to like go back and thought to know what a laugh track was when you were talking about it.
Oh,
So
that's funny. Well, Joe said the same thing that dead people.
yeah,
It
yeah.
doesn't bother me, and it fits in very well with this book where the main character is a necromancer. So,
True. She's been around forever. She may have been friends with
oh,
the laugh track people, guys.
yeah, boy, people are really on to this. How did everybody know that except for me? That's great. I'd add a scream check my books. Oh, I don't know, and I love Harlan Ellison, but I'm also old, so I may have even read it and just not remember.
I mean, that could totally be a great horror novel idea. Laughter from the laugh track people.
All right, let's move on to horses.
Oh, yay! They
Nikki
are big.
loved horses when she was a kid. When she actually saw a horse, damn, they are huge.
The
Yeah,
bigger,
they
the
are.
better. I've always wanted to get like a Clydesdale or a Belgian and just
Oh, wow.
go running across a field on it. It would be so fun because they are massive, massive, massive horses.
Oh, yeah, when I grew up, we had horses. We don't anymore because I didn't care about horses. My mom loved horses, but I'm happy with just the chickens and the goats. But
Yes.
boy, there really is a lot of talk about
Ooh,
the dead people in the thing there.
here's our author
Oh,
checking in to see how much we're talking about our book.
that's your actual last name. That's insane.
And this is what my mom says about me when it comes to horses. So thanks, Mom.
Oh, that's nice. All right, so we should get back to the show, I guess. Enough with the comments. But thank you for all the comments. Please keep them coming. We'll be back
Hey.
again before the end of the show. But right now, it's time to meet or to get to know our guest co-host, Madilynn Dale, a tiny bit better, but just a
Tiny bit. Okay, here we go. So, guys, I'm going to talk fast because we are going to try to keep this in time. I have a new book coming out with some other amazing authors. Gotta love the whole foggy background thing. Edited by Adam Gaffin and AC Adams because it's moving the top. Spice and Steam will drop and go live on ebook on the 15th of this month. So you guys check it out. See Me Fun Stories. It's actually got a little bit of stuff for everybody. From like paranormal to witches to shifters to like fairy tale retellings. Check it out. It's awesome. And if Adam, if you're still hanging around, if you'll drop the link in the comments, I would super appreciate that.
Oh, that's a great idea.
1 week, he says.
Nice. All right. And I am Ron L Lahr. I cook and bake, I garden, and I write. It's a full life. All of my books are available on Amazon. Now back to the show. All right. It is time for book 2.
Hold on, time out.
Smart Dad, Dumb Dad by R.J. Burchett. This is a parody of the huge bestseller, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So if you haven't read that book, you won't be able to very accurately determine if this is a good parody. My spoiler-free synopsis is a guy learns some awful lessons from his actual dad and his son's dad before becoming a very bad person. Maddie, do you have anything to add to that synopsis?
No, it fits.
Yeah, I mean that's really it. All right, Let's jump right into our likes. I like plots, more specifically, stories with a plot. Since I wrote a book with R.J. Burchett and I host Indie Mayhem with him, and we went to high school together and sometimes eat dinner together with our spouses, I know that R.J. believes that this book has a plot. I think he is wrong. Now, how will we settle this disagreement between old friends? I know the one who has the show I'm currently on will win, which is me. Congratulations to me. I knew all the effort of making this show would pay off, and now it has. So, as the first non novel, I mean, I almost say nonfiction, but that isn't quite right because there is a ton of fiction in this book. But as the first non novel, it turns out I really prefer novels to non novels. Like, I never read the encyclopedia. And I don't know if Maddie has ever held an encyclopedia in her hands or knows what they are, but here's a picture of old timey encyclopedias to jog her memory.
Hmm.
But ultimately, Smart Dad Dumb Dad gets 0 out of 5 plot twists from me. How about you, Maddie? What do you think?
That sounds like a good. I like that because it doesn't have a lot of plot twists, but something else I like cats. I mean, they're just so adorable, aren't they?
They are.
And this is Rush, guys. Cats are awesome. There were no cats in this book. So, I
It was a
mean,
travesty.
yes, it broke my heart because I am a major cat lover. I mean, obviously, I have four, so they kind of run the life, which this guy is my boss. So,
He seems like a fairly laid back boss, though. I mean,
yes.
I will say that my wife and I had 3 cats. 2 of them have died in the last year of old age, but we had 3, and my wife is the senior boss in our family. And then if I'm not in trouble, I'm the junior boss. But if I step out of line, one of the cats that died, named Felix, would sometimes be the junior boss over me, and that was always really tough to take. You know, what with he was just a jerk, so he
Yes.
was a jerk boss. But let's move on to things we didn't like or don't like. And tonight I don't like a lot of things, and
Oh,
we'll start with homework. Like having to read Rich Dad Poor Dad before reading Smart Dad Dumb Dad. I
yeah.
want to say to RJ, thanks for the chore wrapped up as a gift because it was just more work. I also don't like books that people I've written a book with then write by themselves. So, especially when the book we wrote together has the best title of all time, You Get What You Steal, which I think is just perfection. And when I use a superlative like best, I'm using it correctly. It is the single best title ever, not one of the 5 best titles, because that is wrong. There's only one best. You should more properly say it as here are 5 titles, one of which is the best, and the other 4 are not the best but are very good indeed. Simple, and easy to use. Anyway, I love teaching ignoramuses, so you're all welcome. Uh, Next, I don't like learning stuff. I am old. I thought that meant I didn't have to learn stuff anymore, and the people around me just had to adapt to my old timey ways.
But I
That is
thought
the
you could
whole.
never, like, you could still teach an old dog a new trick, you know?
I can't. No, I would have to learn how to do that, and I don't want. I don't like learning. Lastly, uh, I don't like graphs in books, and here's some samples of graphs for people who don't know what graphs are, which I assume is most of the audience. We don't have a real strong math audience, um, and I don't feel like I need to say a lot about this one. I mean, I don't like graphs in books. That it speaks for itself. But um,
Yeah.
ultimately, I give Smart Dad, Dumb Dad 0 out of 111 annoying things to learn. So, what about you? What do you not like, Maddie?
So, well, I will say it is that time of year, where we're all supposed to be Christmas shopping and whatnot, doing that whole thing. this actually took away from my planning to do Christmas shopping. So I guess it's kind of not that bad. But there was talks of spending money left and right, encouraging me to want to go buy things in this book. So it took away from my
It's
love
true.
for it because I don't need to spend money right now. I've got to put that towards like planning out all the kids first.
Wow.
So yeah, and I did not do the homework. Not a fan of the homework that came along with this book either at all. But
My kids are all grown, so I don't plan anything for them. Screw them.
yeah, I
They
have
they
to. Too many
they've
nieces and
leached off
nephews
me long enough. They're now
for
adults.
for children. But with that said, with I give it a like point 0.2 out of 5 stars for making me want to go spend all my money on frivolous things that I don't need.
Nice. We're gonna move on now to things that we liked. Well, things we can talk about that we liked without spoiling the plot. But before we do that, actually, I wanted to say thank you because to you, Maddie, because since you write, smut and filth, I was assuming this would just be a just grotesque, yeah, just awful, filthy, dirty show, and you've shown tremendous restraint in not doing that, and I wanted to publicly thank you for that. Um, but let's move on to the things we could talk
I'll
about that
leave
we
that to
like
the comments. Rebecca Jonesy's here.
without
She's in
spoiling the
my,
plot.
my gutter friend. So
Um, and I have nothing against that. I think we've had a real classy show without all the filth. Anyway, my favorite thing about this book is that you can only get it in paperback.
mm,
There's no desperate trend following for R.J. Burchett. He is confident that ebooks are a flash in the pan, so he refuses to release one. Um, he's pretty sure the internet will be done by the end of the year, and you have to respect that kind of dedicated wrong-headedness, as far as I'm concerned. Um, Sadly, Maddie, we don't have time for your things that you liked without spoiling the plot because of timing. I apologize, but we're going to move right into ratings time. I give Smart Dad Dumb Dad by R.J. Burchett 9/10 of a star, which is my highest rating yet on this show. And mostly that's because I've known old RJ a long time and I have to work with the guy. So you know, I feel like I'm forced to give him the best rating I have yet. But what about you, Maddie? What rating are you giving Smart Dad Dumb Dad?
well, RJ, you're an awesome person, but I gave your book a 0.2 of a star.
Ooh, that's rough. That's rough. I like it, but it's rough. Now let's run and look at the comments. Oh, there's a bunch now.
I do want
Oh,
to address my mom is not the reason I'm being good, guys. She's read all of my books. So
wow. I don't know if I'm more surprised you let your mom read the books or that she wanted to read the books. I mean, I didn't like watching, an R-rated movie with my daughters. I mean, it was very uncomfortable. But um, all right. Oh my gosh. All
I know
right,
there's
we have to
a
see this.
lot.
There. So we had to scroll back to where the comments ended. When we left out, and the author is explaining that her last name posthumous is from her ex-husband, and her current husband said it was too cool to change and won the argument. That's Your husband is like super cool now, in my opinion. Uh, and I agree. That is the coolest nest name ever. Wow. Oh my God. That is a great suggestion. I think.
Mhm.
And then Adam talking about the book that you held up, Maddie. Yeah, Spice and Steam comes out in a week,
Yep.
99 cents. That's
November
nice.
15th. Paperbacks are available right now.
This Rebecca Jonesy has a lot of great ideas.
She
Tell
does.
everyone your ex was a necromancer. I mean, this is,
Oh, and Friday and Sunday.
oh yeah,
So
subtle.
we're live on Friday, Joe, with 21 grams, I believe. Joe and I are gonna like actually have our first live sit down together
Oh, nice.
chat, and he's interviewing me. So things might get
Congratulations.
a little crazy. And then Sunday, I am hosting This Week in Indies. It is live at noon Eastern Time. And this way, this guy over here is going to be on it. And we're going to be talking about a fun topic, reading for pleasure as an author. Sorry, a little brain fart there. So, yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. All right. Apparently Jenny doesn't want to give her ex any more credit or coolness. That would give him more credit or coolness than he deserved. So a little bitterness there. That's great. Rebecca is kind of a genius, and she finally convinced her. Convinced Jenny. Well, this is a tough one because I really respect Anita Stewart, but she's disagreeing with me, so I don't know what to do. Let's get back to talking about Jenny's name.
Yeah.
So many people think it's not my actual name. It's funny. It's also funny when medical staff refuse to even try to pronounce it. Wow, that is awesome. I really like that. I don't think Encyclopedia Britannica controls the information anymore. They sure did. World Book. Oh, one of those people. Gotcha. Actually, my family.
I'm just going to hold this book up. I am going to be sharing more about this book someday. Sorry.
Nice. My family didn't even own encyclopedias. We didn't. Yeah, we didn't.
I remember
we weren't rich enough to own the cheapest
like crazy when I was a kid because they had all these fun pictures and they were really cool. So I guess I'm that nerdy kid that was like, hey, look, let's go read about this place or these animals, really.
I just want to say again, Rebecca Jonesy may be a genius. I think this is for you, Maddie.
It is.
Cats.
So many, like,
holy mackerel, 6 cats.
Yeah, go Nikki. You cannot borrow Rush. He's my special guy. Who's begging for me to open the door. He wanted me to let him in before we started live, and now he wants out. How dare I close the door, right?
True. Boy, I feel like this has become a cat fight.
Bobcat crossbreeds. I would love to have a bobcat. That would be so cool. They're vicious. Yeah. Or a mountain lion. I would love to have a mountain lion too. So, oh yeah, that's true. Joe is one of Rebecca's authors. He writes for her, with her. Question mark. I'm reading comments at the bottom as you go through them.
So, oh, that's great. Skipping ahead. That's not confusing for the people.
Finishing a short story right now, Joe, right? For Rebecca.
And I feel like Bob is just saying he's pro filth with this comment, which I like. A little brown nosing. That's great.
Yeah.
Great. And then some support. Smut it up, Maddie. That is great. And then I don't know how to take this one because I don't think of Nikki as a quiet one. So I feel like she's saying she is the opposite of filthy. You take it all
in when you're quiet. You can just absorb the things that's coming in around you. Yes.
Okay, that sounds terrifying about your childhood. I'm just saying, and your mom is right here.
I know.
I just sat there listening to everything that happened, and now I write.
Okay,
I mean, that's what that sounded like, Maddie. I'm not trying to put words in your mouth, but I'm just saying.
That kind of stuff did not happen, but like getting inspiration from like classmates and stuff, you know, listening to their stories. Ha, 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 Mom, ha.
Oh my! See, and then it gets right back off the rails. Oh yeah, Joe has a good question. Who has the last 5 minutes on Sunday?
That was, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I didn't know.
Since it's gonna be talking, because this drops next week, I'm gonna be talking about some of the other authors in here, which I actually got to like do a live chat with last night. So, and kudos to AC for like AC Adams for putting it all together and kind of like bringing Adam in and some other great authors. I'm going to stop talking about it because I got to save that for Sunday. I'm sorry, guys. Ron's just like, there's so many comments.
No, I'm like, it's fine. Show's over. I mean, you know, so we're great. Oh man. Um, I just want to thank everybody. We don't have our pre-prepared outro today. I just want to thank Maddie for being the guest co-host, and I want to thank JF Posthumous and RJ Prechette for allowing us to review their books. You're all just, by golly, the best people ever. Um, it's been an honor to be involved with all of you. Anyway, we're gonna
We
go
should all
ahead.
totally hang out too, guys.
Oh my
Like
God,
for
we
real.
should. Yeah, we later tonight we should get together. All right. Well, that's the end of the show. I'm just gonna end it now. Oh, but I do have to say it's always time to go indie now.